I know a lot of people are going to be talking about Shiro, but I just think Axel has been so incredible over on that T side in the last few months or so. So this is a great chance for him to prove himself, create space for his opposition, and just make sure that Gambit lead from the start. They're going to start up on CT.
Well, the last time these two teams took each other on Inferno, it went down to a 16-12. Let's see whether LAN will replicate performance, and let's see whether Gambit can get another victory on the board. To start things off in our group stage for IEM Cologne is the pistol round with the fuse kit over on Nafani. Double flash in for him as well with the USPs and the Glocks out for mousesports. 2 sets of util on a core and Dexter.
Very passive to start off for mousesports, not really allowing early aggression to come through, even a little bit of a shoulder bait out to that banana position. Hobbit just going to take the first contact, decide to fall back.
A good shot on BMAS, tag to 80. It's not a kill just yet, but it's a slight start for the CT forces as mousesports start the rotations back into the mid control. And looking into the apartments for Ops' lurk, it's still a little bit careful and calculated. Mousesports giving up no information, but Axel might force the issue and draw first blood.
And not even a trade potential at all for the T side. They can now start putting some pressure out to the long position, but they've got to retake brackets.
Shiro watching to the entrance, sees the jump face a bit awkward there from Dexter. Him and Akor get tagged up as Axel doubles up on the kill count. Gets BMAS next, Shiro chimes in, Akor trades him back, but Axel's there, involved with the triple. Drop out from Frozen, will not even get past the balcony area. He's shut down by Inters as Gambit get the pistol round.
And it just comes to Mouse maybe being a little bit out of position there in the apartments. Rop's completely alone. It allows Axel to go for a slow walk, aggressive play, get that first kill, fall back to the side, and then the crossfires just get napped. We see the way in which Shiro is pushing quite aggressively out from that short position, and Axel's just playing it paired.
100% well done from him, like truly, like as you mentioned him before during the pregame, a player to watch here for the Gambit side, and well, there it is for good reason. A fantastic opener for him, and mousesports down to the early eco. Not even going to force fire here for round 2.
We know for Gambit, 15 times played in the last 3 months, 80% win rate when it does come to Inferno, so the charge is definitely going to be on the battle in early. For a Glock round, you're just hoping to not get farmed. There's a few SMGs out in play here for Gambit.
For last an M4 there for Inters and Axel. Of course, Axel right to take the M4 at this moment. Mostly looking at Nafani, Shiro, and Hobbit. Get the money together against the mousesports side. And they are playing in towards the banana control where 2 SMGs are cross-firing. Let's see whether the young in-game leader and the veteran of the Gambit side can get some money in the bank.
Now, we saw that mousesports played EG on Inferno yesterday in the last map of that best-of-3 series where they had a pretty solid T side. It was the CT side where they managed 7 rounds to get it over the way. So I guess it's going to have to come down to T to see how much pressure they can put on, at least for this round. They just look like they're going to rush into the B side.
It's suppressed by smokes. Incendiary down at the right moment for Hobbit. They might force forward. Hobbit finally gets 2 kills for it. BMAS there with a decent trade. And Akor takes out Robs. That's not what you want to see. Does deny at least $600 for Hobbit, but I think that's a bit of an uneven trade-off, all things considered there for the T side. 1 man to fall for Gambit, all cleaned up for mousesports, and the rebuy for the rifles is coming in.
And you've got to imagine coming to LAN, in terms of the environment, it's not just different in the server and with the atmosphere, but taking a plane, going to the hotel, being able to be with your teammates, all things like that. So that's something that Hobbit's been able to experience in the past, and just try and make sure that he kind of leans on that experience to the other players on this side, because this is all new to them.
Absolutely, and he's been the guiding hand for Gambit ever since he was introduced to the lineup. So that veterancy coming into a brand new environment could potentially also guide them into a victory here today, and not only today, but also over the course of the week as well. AK's out for mousesports for the moment, however. Placed in with the passive default, mostly up towards Banana as the main aggression, with 1 player starting to enter his way into a pass.
Shiro just not taking that contact for too long up towards that early boiler peak down to mid, just falling back, and for mousesports silently taking this top banana control.
Hobbit and Incendiary are going to try drive him away, and finally still got the SMG in. Hobbit passed that off to him to get the main staple rifle out for the man. Now Shiro's going to join the fray with the AWP in his hand. T-side players still not being seen here by the CTs, but they've got a decent inkling as to what's going on. Flashes forward, 3 players to round the corner. I think Dexter's head just got spotted by Hobbit, but he cannot deal with the man. Nafani's siphoned off here. He's got to get away with something, but SMG just not powerful enough. Core gets the kill. Blind fire from Hobbit, costing his life.
Unfortunately there for Gambit, it's not the best of positions to be on the site, because for Hobbit, he's trying to take a little bit of a duel out for Coffins, doesn't quite get the angle, and as soon as he gets smoked, it forces him away from the side. It means that Nafani is completely overwhelmed, and for B, it's just easy take for mousesports.
The money line's not quite there for Gambit either, so they have to kind of hold on to the main rifles here. They lose an SMG and an M4. It'd be nice if Inters can go back and grab the M4 that Hobbit had, but They've all got about a 2k float on those 3 players. Nafani and Hobbit have no money whatsoever, so it's best to hold on to these weapons and drop them going into round 4.
You've got to expect Shero dropping over an M4. Inter's going to be able to do the same. Just make sure that everyone's getting a good buy going forward. But for Gambit, you wonder whether some more util up towards that banana position or a little bit more of an info play, because for mousesports, they were so silent, didn't use any utility towards top banana, and it seemed that that B execution, Gambit didn't really know what was going on.
Suppressed by all the util, and although they tried to counteract it, again, it was a bit blind from the majority of the faces coming in from the CT forces, so... Rifles back in, of course, as you mentioned, drop weapons for the parts of Shiro and Intis. Actually, Axel dropped the weapon for Hobbit, so slight lacking in that department. He is going to pass it back over for the FAMAS to come forward for them. So Hobbit will just take the limited buy coming into this round. Shiro's going to hold on to the majority of his money. He can save into an orb, but potentially drop for a bit of a half-buy round going into the next.
Just make sure the AWP's got as much money behind him as possible. Have that extra safety. mousesports, again, out towards this banana position. Gambit are really not interested in even putting early anti-rush nades down or taking any kind of early contact. Instead, it's a passive 3-man stack.
Molotov's in to try to drive him away. Won't really be necessary, though. Mousesports will not be aware of this, but they will check positions just in case. Or Pashira ready. If Frozen peeks dry, he won't. Nafani still gets the kill in. A core with a responsive. The AWP also misses his shot, so a core can double up. And Hobbit's now left alone with both his teammates falling. He's back up desperately. Holds on to the first frag. He will not get the second. And Gambit already in with the save.
That's a round-winning swing coming through from Dexter. Just the way in which he just takes that jewel straight away out to the back of the side. And this just has to be a save call for Gambit. Bring that bomb out towards the B side for mousesports. Get up to a second round.
Uncharacteristic miss there from Shiro, however.
Yeah.
Really was the main damage dealer for me in that round. As we saw, he couldn't quite connect the shot as he swung back, so it allowed a core with 2 frags. And that ultimately cost everybody on the defense, because that was 2 for nothing on the trade. Hobbit couldn't really hold on for much of his own right, so... Solid return from mousesports, losing the pistol and the conversions, but gaining both of the rifles, and now with the 2 M4s being saved in, going to consider maybe a force buy for Gambit, especially with that bank account of Shiro.
It seems that mousesports are getting a lot of map control in these defaults. Out towards the apartment, into banana, not really getting naded at all, not even taking early contacts in some of these aggressive moves, and Dexter just being able to get those trades out towards the B bomb site in Toll. But you're right about that missed shot coming out for Shiro and CT. Instance and Axel just trying to hold on to the couple of weapons they've got, and even though Shiro's got money, you're in a bit of a position here where you just have to lightly eco. They might want to go for a hero AK, but it's a hero AWP, I should say, but it's probably just not worth it.
Yeah, again, maybe drop some rifles if they really want to go for a force invest on the part of Shiro, get those extra couple of M4s in, but probably just best to half buy around. Maybe Shiro can drop some upgrade pistols. Go for the eco basis off the back of that. It's a tactical pause for Gambit to figure it out.
Just realizing that maybe early on it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And we've seen out towards that B site that they have been overwhelmed for a couple of these rounds. And take the tactical in early, discuss things. Maybe realize how they want to change up their setups and how they want to try and put at least a little bit more fight back in onto mousesports. Acor, haven't really seen him be able to get too much with the AWP. This could be a good chance going into round 5.
And so far, the mousesports map pick is at least being contested. Again, they lost the pistol and conversion, but in terms of the true gun rounds, that's where mousesports are sort of winning out in that respect. So again, it's early doors, and Gambit will go for the force invest, so there's going to be another gun round coming in for them. Shiro back on the AWP, lacking in utility, but that's what everybody else is for. SMG for Nafani and Hobbit with the FAMAS means that there will be a couple of limitations, and I think we've just had a stop call as well from the CT side.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll get everything back going again. But yeah, Gambit deciding to go in for the force buy does mean that there are going to be limitations again with some of the weaponry. But all in all, you've got that AWP around from Shiro. You've got a couple of extra bits and pieces here with the FAMAS and the SMG. But we'll get the round replayed, make sure we get all the buy status going back in, and just jump back into round 5.
Indeed, yes. Plenty of opportunities here for the boys, of course. Small tech pause at this moment in time, but that could all change as time goes on. Our first tech pause of the tournament, though, Dwayne. I don't think we've had one on the B stream, at least so far.
Yeah, not in the games that we've covered, but
nope.
Yeah, certainly so. We'll make sure that everything is ready to go and be able to sort of jump back into the action and kind of look at this game in tow. And of course, with the rankings, Gambit, obviously #1 in the world, winning pretty much everything. mousesports down at 16th. A way in which for them to maybe prove themselves, but even in the play-ins, they didn't have the easiest of times in the world. Beat Bad News Bears in that opening best of 1. Didn't even take a map against NIP in that upper bracket best of 3, but then beat Evil Geniuses last night to be able to get them over the line.
And this is very odd. I'm seeing 3 players are disappearing from the Gambit side, so hopefully we'll get some information as to what's going on over on the Gambit camp and why this has happened. But definitely, obviously, only playing a 2 versus 5 round at this stage, Dwayne. mousesports definitely will be able to block the momentum, I guess you could say, on their own right. So it's kind of a bit of a moment for them where they'll be able to focus on, just resetting mentality. I mean, it kind of is back to square one because we are at two apiece, and the first gun round, the third gun round is coming in. You can sort of treat it like a bit of a reset in the game and the mentality overall.
It's still very early though. If it came in a little bit later, it could potentially slow things down, but you're only going into round 5, so I don't think it's going to disrupt too much going into this opening map. But even for mousesports, they haven't really played a massive amount recently. We know that they won the entire RMR and did very well there in Europe, but outside of that, that was the last event they've played in. Yeah, and I guess for mousesports, like taking a look at that RMR, you wonder if Flashpoint was a flash in the pan for them. Again, I don't think anyone went into that tournament thinking that mousesports were going to come out with a decent showing in that. So again, ultimate test for them against Gambit. If they're able to pull this off, I'd be impressed. But I also feel like it would legitimize that victory a bit more. No, I don't think so, honestly. Like, you win an RMR and then you're playing Gambit in the first round. Just because you lose to Gambit doesn't mean that winning an entire event doesn't mean anything. But it does show that if they can hold it close and if they can hold it as a competitive nature, that this mousesports side is actually here to do decent and to not go out early.
Now we've got the players back in server here for the Gambit side, so looks like we're ready to get back started once again. Again, the Founding and Hobbit, the SMG and the FAMAS as mousesports straight into the default once again. Very similar setup to what we have going on here. 3-2 split from the CT side, a bit more banana presence and second mid presence from the mousesports default. Nades on Hobbit, that does go a little bit too shallow. No one connecting damage here.
That's the first time they've actually put nades down towards that banana position, but maybe just a little bit too early there for Gambit. The mousesports, this seems to be the majority of their offensive, just in terms of some of the setups on the T side, is just take that early banana contact, work with the default, try and force in a little bit of an early mistake, and then just work with the information, work with a pick.
Yeah, shot in from a core, being mostly blinded off by the smokes, but again, Gambit not aggressing towards banana. mousesports are always working on the assumption that Gambit have aggressed here, and they haven't really done that at all to the CT side.
Yeah, Shira is the only one that's been aggressive out to this short position, but he should get flashed off angle.
Utility in towards long instead. They try face it. They do get a goose shot, but BMAS also takes a leg shot back in. That nade, is it close enough? Yes, it is. Axel draws first blood here in round 5 and flashing his way over to suppress them even further towards that short position. Swing back on towards Dexter. Axel doubles up. Can he make it another triple for the man here towards pick control? They're feeding themselves to him. Quadra out, and now a 1v5 for Robs. He gets 2 kills at least. Bomb can get picked up, but he's got 35 seconds to plant it and hold off against Gambit.
We saw an ace from him yesterday, but he needs a lot more than that today. The 1v5, at least he can get the bomb down.
Plant down for default. Perfect chance for a short player to swing. The incendiary close to sight will not drive him that far away. The nade also is a little bit mispositioned. Can challenge all 3 players here from brackets. This could get really awkward really quickly. Sees what's going on, but doesn't land his first headshot, and Gambit will re-secure the lead here. And it was all down to Axel, but mousesports just peeking in as individuals to the man.
No molly out to that pit position, and you're right, individual swings, really having a difficult time. And Axel's one of those guys that does play in and around the apartments, out to that balcony position and in pit, and he has just been rock solid so far. Any times we've seen a lean in towards the A site, short or abs in particular, he's been just a monster.
Really, he has. You mentioned, of course, Axel was one of the guys to watch here. 7 frags deep in 6 rounds. It's still very early, so that could very easily change. But in terms of the early matchup, he has been the difference maker, I think, for Gambit.
That molly for A-Core just comes in way too late after a couple of players already fallen. And for mousesports, we did see a couple of rounds go their way in a row, but now we've got the Gambit coming back, and with the economy line being sort of rough, this could be a swing round where both teams can get reset.
Gambit putting a lot more utility into banana this time. You mentioned in the last round was the first one where they actually put nades on position. Now they're putting HEs and Molotovs, smokes, all sorts down here from the CT side. And they are going aggressive this time with mousesports. Going to try and aggress back towards them. Flashbang over, will catch Hobbit. He'll spray blindly past the wood stack and does catch Dexter for 75, but that's about it.
Oh, I like this approach, though, for Gambit. It's just chip damage. Yeah, it's not a massive amount. Yeah, it's not an opening man advantage, but it's just that variation towards Banana, and you've already done, what, 75 HP, roughly?
And it means that as well as that, you've got plenty of potential in terms of when the kills come in for the execution. Because Dexter and Frozen have got to move with their teammates, and Hobbit and Nafany, plenty of opportunities here. Smokes down, Hobbit. Sprayed through on Frozen, catches the headshot. Dexter next up the face, so he just looks towards BMAS instead. Dexter does drop in from the second boost, and the FAMAS is just going to get overwhelmed by the IGL. 3v3, bomb plant can be secured.
Perfect opportunity to just slow this down, and for Gambit, they're out of here straight away. They're not even looking to go for the retake, and I guess that comes down to money just not being perfect and saying 3v3, we don't exactly have players quickly out to Banana, we're still on rotation in from CT, let's just save.
Very disciplined play there from Gambit. I mean, it's very characteristic of CIS squads to force forward and just go for it and say, you know, screw it, let's just try. But you're right, you know, economy's not there for Gambit. If they lose it, they're down to Felico. At least they can hold on to the AWP, the AK, and the M4. And with money in reserve for Shiro, Axal, and Nafany, it's still possible that they could go for another buy.
Well, it definitely seems like B is a weakness. And for mousesports, we're probably going to see a little bit more of a lean out towards this B side more consistently than what it's been so far. They've definitely found more success there. Even that position for Hobbit, he gets a great couple of kills out from the second Orange's position, but it was just the way in which Dexter was able to follow up with 2 kills out on the side. And while he did have assistance in terms of teammates being in the right positions at the right time and that utility, he was the one that won the round for his team.
2 big frags from him. You mentioned that chip damage that was done towards him. It ultimately affected Frozen and not Dexter, so confident stuff coming in from the guy. Definitely want to be seeing him posting up some good numbers, of course. You know, it was a very, I don't want to say uncharacteristic move, a bit more of a forced move for mousesports bringing him in. Since that point, there's been a lot of question marks around this team, whether they can really hold on. Well, so far it has looked particularly proficient. Into the rebuy again, Gambit holding on to as much money as possible. We'll get another rifle round here.
I think the move made a lot of sense, especially when Mythar was coaching Renegades for a little bit, just knowing the kind of in-game leader Dexter is and knowing what mousesports needed when they lost their in-game leader, it seemed like, okay, let's bring him back. We know that we've had him in the past, we'll bring him back over, we'll try and see if we can get him involved into Europe, and, well, look at least some of the championships they've won since then.
It'll be a hell of a week if they were able to win Cologne as well. Damage being done by Gambit, however, in this moment in time in this first match of the group stage. And, well, again, it's just chips up on Frozen and Dexter. Didn't affect them in the last round, but Gambit do gain the early advantage.
You've got to wonder if there is any sort of more movement out to the A side. How are they going to deal with Axel and in and around this apartment's position and out from Pit? He's constantly been getting multi-frag. Shiro's posted on the angle with the AWP. Is going to get smoked off by the lurk smoke, though.
It's him and Hobbit this time. The AWP set towards the back line. I don't think Mouse have the information. I don't think that they heard the scope out. He's going to wait until the very last second to give that information. He does want to give away the idea that Gambit have made an adjustment in this B-side defense. Trying to clean up those issues as Mouse go for the full set piece. Smoke down, AWP in, takes its shot. M4 on the boost up, gets only 1 frag. Now Shiro's got a lot of pressure towards him. Looking for the players in the back, does get BMAS, but Dexter trades it. 3-on-3, 1 CT to the early response to Nafany. But his teammates are slow to rotation. There's even a lurk in play from Rops.
This might have to be another save, and yeah, as soon as that kill comes in, we know that Rops loves lurking in and around that boiler position. Dexter even being able to pick up Nafany, so Inters has got really no option but to save, but then he's even thinking to himself, well, where's Rob's reposition to?
1-on-3 to hold on to the rifle in this. The AK needs to stay in, and there's going to be nothing much for Gambit going into the next round as well. Mouse can reclaim the lead above the CT side and start to instate their confidence once again. You know, this being their map pick, they want to see some good stuff here on Inferno. And in the last 3 months, they've gone completely undefeated on this map. We even saw them against the EG during their match during the play-ins. Went a 16-8 overall in that one. And, well, mousesports getting rid of all the rifles in this one could start to grind up a few more rounds to get to that scoreline again. Nobody stays alive for Gambit.
It's definitely not a map that they pick into a massive amount. We didn't see it at the RMR. We didn't see it during Masters Spring. It's always one of those maps that comes through as a bit of a decider or perhaps a map pick coming through from the opposition. mousesports, though, being able to get this early lead at 4-3, and I am slightly worried that maybe Shiro is not looking as hot as he is, or has done, for a very, very long time now. We've seen how many opportunities he's had with the AWP so far in this first half, and hasn't been able to manage that many connections.
Absolutely. That does concern me a little bit because, I mean, I know, again, we've talked in great depth about Axel, but Shiro is the guy that a lot of people look at and say he's legit. Like, he is the mustard. And I can't really disagree with that. Like, he is the star AWPer, but as you mentioned, a lot of shots being missed out for him. AWP involved, the rifles involved, now he's down to USP on the USP round, the eco basis for Gambit. So not much else can come through for him in this one, but I feel like if he keeps posting these low numbers as the match goes on, we're going to have a very hard time for Gambit.
Yeah, it's still early on, so we'll give him a little bit of more time to settle
course.
in, but it's something to keep in the back of your mind, just to keep an eye on and what those sort of lines are. And Bemis, even this lurk consistently out towards the apartments hasn't really led to a massive amount of damage, just because haven't really seen that many aggressive duels. Dexter just with the spam, dealing with Axel straight away, and for Gambit, it's a bit of a throwaway round. If they can somehow manage a pick and save on to one of these AKs, then great.
Maybe the best that they're hoping for. Close quarters from Shiro. Speaking of missed shots for Rops, actually Nafani does get the kill in against him. Sprays back from BMAS, can't quite seem to find the trade. All sorts of incendiaries out. Finally gives up the angle. Intus can't get much done of his own right, so no rifles saved. At least one was taken away, but that's not much in the grand scheme of things. Still not a lot of money available for Gambit. It's still going to force the issue, though.
And it's crazy to think that Acor, Dexter, and Bemis have not played a LAN at all with mousesports, considering, at least for Bemis, it feels like he's been a part of this team for a relatively long time now. We know that Acor and Dexter got signed a little bit earlier in this year. Opportunity now for them to start building up on this T side, and money, well, it looks pretty solid.
Yeah, plenty of cash here for the mousesports camp. Can go for a rebuy if Gambit win this next one. Not even any players that will have major issues when it comes to investing of their own accord. Accord does get caught by Nafani, though. Finally, a truly aggressive play from Gambit. Not just taking aggressive control, facing straight forward at that gap in a smoke, catching off the AWPer and dishing out the first frag.
It seemed like Acor was just trying to work on the edge of the smoke, but Gambit sort of read it better. Like you mentioned, a little bit more of a move forward, past the broken wall, and just the intent of taking a fight immediately.
Minute and 20. Slow walkings downstairs for the T side. Siphon off in a 2-2 split in terms of this default. Still two players working in towards Banana, but off the back of that aggression, Gambit have gone right back to their standard.
Now, for mousesports, you've got to wonder who's going to be able to create a little bit of space here. Who's going to be able to find some impact? Nade going down onto Frozen's position. Dexter just trying to catch someone sleeping, but even Hivs fired away. They try and peek. They know exactly what's going on.
Great flash debate in the AWPer shot as well. Get the information, continuing to spray even past that smoke. They don't get the kill on him, but now Dexter's lower than ever before the execution has come forward for mousesports. Bomb still yet to commit. It is up there in Banana. Should get picked up by Dexter. Where do they want to go with this though, Mouse?
It all comes to being able to get time wasting and maybe scrambling the CTs. We're seeing a little bit of lurk utility out to the A side from Robs, but they're regrouping in Banana to head B.
30 seconds left. Frozen AK set ready around the corner. Cross position, Nafani holding up on the first boost, turning away from expecting a flashbang, but refaces at the right moment. He's going to burn alive though. BMAC gets that trade in. Dexter gets caught so low, and Hobbit wildly firing to try and dish out more damage, get another kill past that smoke. He won't be able to deal with either of those two, so it will be a plant and a retake set for Gambit's advantage.
And now we get to see what Gambit are really like in the retake. It hasn't happened many times at all, other than just the saves. Flashes coming through, allow Beamers to get aggressive, but can't find anything with it. Rob's now to clutch.
He's got to go superstar mode at this moment. AK in the back, no utility for him to support with. The CT's bearing down upon him, getting closer and closer as time rolls on. Hobbit caught back to the Shire. Shiro also caught towards construction. One kill found. That's as far as it goes. Axel with an aid will get Gambit the fourth.
Yeah, mousesports just struggling to be able to find a lot of entries, and even for Hobbit, just making sure that he's holding on to the man advantage. Get that first pick out from the flower position, and rather than then pushing through the CT smoke or staying for too long, he falls back, gets into safety, allows those rotations to come through, and for mousesports, you can see they're trying to set up a play. They're in a 2v4, they realize there's no way we're going to win this post-punt unless we take an aggressive fight, unless we try and even out the numbers, and as soon as Bemis gets aggressive out towards construction and doesn't win anything, that round's done.
It's a tactical pause coming in from mousesports at this one. Still holding the lead, but still being contested by Gambit. In spite of the laggards over on this side, they have still found a very capable CT force. Still within one round of the difference for them. AK saved in this next round as well. They've got a lot of firepower. I think mousesports are aware of that, and they, of course, as mentioned before, have enough money to go for a rebite. It's all about stopping this from being equalized, though. Gambit, they're really only one good playmaker away from going 5-all.
Well, if anyone remembers back to the European RMR, it was actually mousesports in the grand final against NIP that played on Inferno as map 3, where they had a pretty stellar T side, which is where they were able to lead from the front and be able to put some early results up. The Gambit, though, unfortunately for them, the thing that's probably hurt one of the most in all of the elements is that they've never really had safety with the money. They've always been on a lopsided economy.
A serious lack of cash. Again, it could be a massive swing round for mousesports if they can make this one work up for them. Smokes in as the press here, the CT side. So slow and careful. And 4 players over on the A side at the moment. Of course, they got plenty of potential in terms of defensive. mousesports can't bait any information, though. No one's thrown anything at all for Gambit.
We know that Axel has got a couple of one-way smokes that he likes to throw towards the end of the apartments to allow a little bit of an angle to be held if you are aggressive. So mousesports just not even giving the opportunity up to peek in towards the angle, instead waiting for it to dissipate and then taking the apartments.
BMAS and Rups walking in. Shiro watching out the boiler entrance alongside Axel into the balcony position. Still very slow and quiet for mousesports. 45 seconds and they are setting up for the A site.
Someone's got to check this position, though. If they over-aggress out from Banana, Frozen has really got to be checked. Otherwise, they're going to just have no information. They could lose quite a lot.
Well, they're suppressing with the smoke. They're expecting there to be some sort of Banana play. Nafani's looking for a gap in the smoke that's set towards long. Shiro fattens the opening kill on towards BMAT. Incendiary back down to suppress it for mousesports here in Hobbit. So close, will he check that corner directly to his left-hand side? He sees the man and Frozen misses every bullet. Nafani trades back on Rups as well, and it's a 4v2 with the B-site that has been opened up.
Oh, this almost looks like the same as the last round, doesn't it? 2v4 trying to get the bomb down and they get a spray through the smoke. Acor at least covers the cross, gets away with one.
They weren't ready for that orb to be out in the open now. Dexter gets back behind said smoke. So third player still rotating. Axel was considering the mid play to wrap her in towards the Banana position, but they're not going to go for it. Time is ticking away. Dexter watching for construction. Gambit are still setting themselves up for the retake. Slow walks out, hard on the footsteps. Dexter now has information to play with. The AWPer still watching cross. Shiro's looking into the site. Nades back. Swing in from Dexter, who's going to get very aggressive. See Shiro get it back to a 2 versus 2. Now a core switching out to the main rifles. He's back behind that smoke once again. The time ticked too far, though. They get a kill on Inter. Axel responds, but the round has been done and over for a very long time now. mousesports steal the 6th. Gambit took too long.
Dexter is playing at a really, really high level here on Inferno. So many multi-frag kills, so many opening man advantages coming through in some of the late sections of the round, and even situations in which that's a recovery. That's a 2v4 post-plant. The kill onto the AWPer, just the way that he wastes time and just continues to find picks.
Big play from him. 11 frags deep. Top fragger in server for Dexter. mousesports resting on him to make all the plays. Axel's the AK out for Gambit with USPs and P2Ks. Not a lot to work with. Again, the economy has been a consistent issue for them in this matchup. It's coming back to bite them once again.
People forget how much of a LAN player Dexter used to be back in the Oceanic scene. We know that Renegades had a couple of those DreamHack opens in the early stages of 2020, and he was one of their star fraggers even when he was calling for them. Trying to see if he could find even further impact here up against Gambit. Frozen does get away with a 1. At least the trade comes back for the AK.
Great response by Axel. Back to evens. Ensuring that he just dropped a pistol in that one, so kind of Gambit get away with a better trade. Get rid of that rifle though, making sure it cannot stay in for the CT forces. They may be aware of this. So if they go back towards the A play, then maybe Gambit can try swing back and grab that rifle, but for now, it's still default in at the last minute.
Not running into the AK is the best chance possible of mousesports not losing a massive amount, and even the rotation, it's coming away out of A.
BMAS looking down, has seen Shiro get the kill. Inter's standing alone with the USP. Oh, Rops almost didn't towards the back, but caught by Dexter in the end as he bails him out, gets his 12th kill in the game. Plants the bomb. And that one casualty looks to be the only casualty for them. Nafani is looking for that AK, so you see it? I don't think he can, so I don't think he can get it.
And we know for Gambit, in a lot of their series as recently, there are very much 2-0s. You don't get often where they lose a map. You saw it against Complexity and IEM Summer. A couple of the games in the CIS RMR, more so in particular up against Na'Vi, where they lost a couple of maps here or there. So far, mousesports, though, up 7-4. I mean, it's a very decent position. Trying to get the weapon back if they can.
I like this. I do love how much Gambit are committing to trying to get the AK. Are they going to get it? Oh my god, they got it! Well done!
Bad.
Well done, Nafani. I don't think I've seen that ever, I think. I mean, I've never seen players like try that hard to get a weapon. I mean, it must be important to Gambit at this stage. We've talked about the economy so many times, so the buyback definitely requires as much relief from it as possible.
That's very cheeky. Very, very much so, because mousesports, they just go, right, we lose a player, let's just get the AK away, but they go, hang on a minute, if we get a couple of shots off and we get Nafany up towards the top of car, we might actually be able to get this back.
Something for you to use at home if you intend to play Inferno any time in your matchmaking games. Just because it's out of bounds does not mean it's out of reach. Axel taking that AK straight into the apartments. Very, very fast and aggressive play. I think BMAS heard it. Ooh. Slow walk. Scene. There comes the kill. There comes the start.
Sure, it needs to get a little bit of a trade back, but even him, a little bit more passive in the apartments, not really just looking to strike forward. Nafani needs a bit of a flash, or at least some util to follow if he wants to round this broken wall corner. Frozen gets completely blind. How many does he get away with? It's going to be 2.
Oh, perfect flash from Hobbit. Wonderfully done for him. Nafani getting away with 5 points of health. Oh, but the nade finishes him back off, so Dexter can trade to a 3 versus 3. So good responses in from mousesports, but they have lost a big, big play in that one. Back to evens will go, and Shiro is ready to try and strike back with the orb, still watching brackets, looking for 2 individuals they could line up, and indeed, he does get a collateral tag on Dexter. Dexter able to respond towards it, though, so we're still on an even man standing.
Bemis has got to strike straight away, deal with the Moto player, knows the Inters is here, now he's trapped behind the smoke.
And tagged up there, they spotted him before it bloomed. The bomb will get to site and get planted, I believe, down on default. Gonna wait for Hobbit to get here, and both players go for the retake.
This is still a tough one. They've got a smoke to work with and a kit, and Bemis, he's still on towards the site. Dexter's repositioned down to pit.
Axel's position that he's played so well in this matchup on the defensive. Can Dexter do it to similar effect? He's on 14 points of health. It might not be likely. Inter's looking out into the open, seeing nothing, should now know that they're suppressed back in passive positions, and that drop down will now give the ghost up that they're both out here towards this long control. BMAS so passive into the back corner. Will Hobbit check it? No, he won't, and he gets his own spray lineup to get Mouse the half.
A couple of smiles there coming through onto Bemis. Mousesports know how important that post plan is, and it does seem that even in situations where they're down by 1, if they're getting the bomb planted, they get very, very comfortable. They waste a lot of time. Really good re-smoke out towards that Moto position. Nafany looked like he'd made the play to start off with Banana, but not to be.
I genuinely thought it was going to be the round winner. Thani didn't need to stick around. I think if he kept his life in that 4 versus 3, then maybe that could be a different story for Gambit. Same thing with the collateral warp shot there from Shiro, aiming a little bit too low, only getting the tag on Dexter. There's so many little things that you could take a look at in that round and think to yourself, what if for Gambit? Definitely, they're going to be asking themselves the same questions. Back down to the Pistols and the Eagles and the CZs. Damage done to Rops to start for Inters, but Rops gets away with the kill.
Just trying to force some mistakes coming through for Gambit. Up on this eco, not a massive amount to work with, and look at how much more passive this is for mousesports. We know that they've been loving taking this top banana control. This time around, though, they're just staying at logs because they're waiting for fights to come to them.
Rifles involved. And the CT's going around for the gamble stack towards that B site, having lost that opening kill. And I have a feeling that mousesports want to play towards B. They've got 3 players out here. Bomb's yet to commit, but with how many times they've gone to the B site knowing the Gambit a week, I mean, it wouldn't shock me if they ran to the stack.
They might find out too late after they've already committed, after they've already executed into B that the stack's here. Can they get the read on this situation is the big question.
45 seconds left to the clock. Utility down. Smokes inbound as the press it across Dexter and Frozen. Hobbit and Nafani here. 2 players so close towards it. They'll get the kill. Oh, Nafani goes massive. 3 kills on the 5-7, and just like that, mousesports, they've lost all control.
They've got to run it in towards the A site, and there's going to be nobody here, but look at how many AKs have been picked up now.
3 on the floor. Nafani's going to give that one off towards Shiro. Massive 3K from him. He's done his job. Now it's on his teammates to hold the rest of the round. The bomb will get planted for the front corner, and the CTs are very quickly here.
Bemis has got to try and get some impact because Rops is so low.
14 HP. Get away with 1 kill at the very least. Get BMAS a bit of a chance in this clutch. And no, Axel domes in. BMAS with it all to do. Spray the line up on 2. Only gets 1. What a steal there from Gambit.
Yeah, and it's a situation in which you give them a little bit of a credit and then they just take the whole round. Just the way in which they're running into that stack. Nafany just getting away with so much. 3 kills with the 5-7 just behind that smoke.
I want to see that again. Truly, truly an incredible play with him. And again, a massive steal round from Gambit. It wasn't even like a definitive force buy. It was like upgrade pistols on the mostly eco basis. One more time. Perfect shooting. Unbelievable from him. Almost matching the likes of Axel. No, he's actually surpassed Axel on the stats numbers. 12 frags for him. And you mentioned Nafani's got a lot of pressure on him to be able to perform as the IGL and one of the young players. And, well, definitely in terms of in-server numbers, you can't dispute him.
And for mousesports, there's not really a lot they could have done against that, knowing that they, in hindsight now, ran in towards that B stack and just a sick play comes out for Nafani. You've got to focus in on the next round. And it's aggression down from mid. We haven't seen this before. Axel gets away with 2, and they're even crunching in on Banana.
And he gets another moment in the sun in this matchup. Now the Orpus Shiro still missing, cannot save Axel as a result. Still continuing to miss shots in this matchup for the Gambit side. They've lost 1. 4 versus 3 still. Gambit hold the advantage.
This is still very recoverable. Rops has been able to push all the way down towards the apartments. They don't know about this lurk.
Shiro still set with a tight angle. Inters gets caught by Rops, so back to evens will go, and Shiro's AWP continues to miss out. I think he was smoked off this time at least. But now needs some backup. AK close, pistol in hand for Shiro. Dexter being closed in upon from the brackets control. He's going to line up 2 more kills, but Hobbit denies the second one. So 2v2 again, retake on for Gambit. mousesports suppressed in the site, they've got a HP advantage.
That's Bemis and Rops again. We saw what it was like in this last round, but it's different this time.
Hobbit with the incendiary, makes his way out, smoke down as well to try and siphon off the pit control, but again it's Graveyard and Sight. Rops is watching on the site, angle speeds, Hobbit's feet gets towards his kill. Shiro surely not going to have anything to do in this one. 9-5 for Mouse.
Jeez, just that entry to come out from Rops on the lurk into the apartments was pretty much just the round winner, just being able to open up the side, allow the comfortability of getting the bomb down, and even for Dexter, the way that he's repositioning himself in and around that long smoke, it looked like for a moment he wanted to push forward, maybe take that fire to Shiro, but instead, moving back into brackets, not only was it an info play, but he got away with a kill and damage onto the follow-up.
Into the last round of the half, Gambit looking like they will go down at the very least, but will it be by a margin of 10-5 or 9-6? Fly back in, of course, for them. Haven't really got much of a choice. Dexter, in the midst of the fire, will burn, but does at least get Nafani's trade.
Oh, nades up towards that brackets position, gets so much damage onto Axel to start off the round. And Dexter, he's just feeling it in this game, doing so much heavy lifting.
Slow walk, slow careful. mousesports have a slight advantage in the HP numbers. Axile and a 16 points of health against the AWP of a core at 100. Hobbit's playing aggressive here towards Banana. Needs to win this kill, and nope. Dead in an instant. B-side's open for now.
This looks impossible, really, for Gambit. It's going to take a while for those rotations to come back. And even for Inters, what can he do from here? He's got a smoke. He's got no more nades.
No nades at all here for the Gambit side. Just the 2 smokes and the flash across all 3 of those individual players. So Inters needs his backup to get here in Gambit. They can't go for a safe call this time. Dwayne, it's the last of the half. Bomb plant will be heard. Inter's not going to spray through and try to deny a core. Trying to use those sound cues and traces to reveal that, or to figure out the positions on the site, but nothing's being found by him.
No, they don't have any information towards Banana of an aggressive player, but a core just spots out from construction.
Shot still missed out, looks back in. Shiro boosted up, sees one frozen, gets the kill in before he can even have a chance to strike. 2 players left, at least Inters comes up with his kill at last. Him and Axel making their moves in. Shot missed out from a core as well. Smoke down towards the bomb itself, time's ticking. Inters moving in. There's no kits as well for the CT side either, I just realized that, so they're basically out of the round. B-Mass and frozen. 2 final clean-up frags for mousesports to make it 10-5. A fantastic T-side to start things off on their map pick, and Gambit need to bring it back as we head to a break.
Don't hold back.
outside of the pistol and conversion, 3 rounds was all that we saw from Gambit individually in that first half, and one of which was only an eco. So you've got to imagine that coming into this pistol, there is a lot riding on this if we see the comeback coming through for Gambit. The early util out for Nafany. Out on the City side, though, it's a Kevlar for everybody.
Yeah, no util, no defuses, nothing at all for the mousesports side except for the straight aim duels, and I guess that might be the appropriate way to try and deal with Gambit, beat them out in terms of punching them in the face. Again, it's very slow and careful and calculated from this Gambit camp, taking damage on Frozen. Early damage dished out towards the man. Not quite a significant amount, though. 85 points of health.
Hey, he's still staying around, wanting another contact, wanting to create a little bit of an off angle for him to deal with. But for Gambit, it's so damn silent. They're going to start having a little bit of a fake over towards this B bomb site. Just put a little bit of util down, but start regrouping out from mid.
3 players here to deal with on the A site. Gambit are walking up slowly into the brackets and mid control, and Rops BMAS now lose a core as he starts to rotate back in towards Speedway. Still watching in case they go for the rat play, but in terms of the actual solid A defensive, it's just these 2 players in pit.
This crossfire from Mini Pit and Big Pit could be everything, especially if Gambit get baited and don't check one of those positions.
Here we go, utility coming out of core. Does get back to position, realizing what's going on. Hobbit looks around the corner, gets Robs. Are they ready for BMAS? Not quite, but still Hobbit adjusts for the man. 2 kills for him. Akor trades back on Afani. It's a 4 versus 3 for Gambit on the retake.
And without the kit and without the nades, this is going to be a very, very difficult retake because now they're in from long, but they're still down by 1.
And mousesports with a lot of work to do back here. All 3 players held towards the long entrance, and no one has seen anything from Gambit. That smoke is still in effect. It will start to clear as they start to press the issue further forward of this, and Inter still gets Dexter regardless. So now 2 left standing. USP looks up, another headshot for Axel. Can he make it a double up? Just about gets there. Triple overrule denied on the part of Hobbit. Gambit take the pistol.
Well, 2 for 2 at pistols so far in this opening map of the best of 3, and for mousesports, just not being able to get that early contact. Hobbit diving down from the apartments, being able to deal with Rops and Pit, and then straight away just going out towards the Mini Pit angle too.
Wonderfully done from Hobbit here. Perfect shooting, perfect kills found. Crossfire, lock the firing squad. All 3 players looking into that position to deal with the last man. And that's a solid start for Gambit. Definitely what we want to see from them. A bit of an awkward time in the first one, but mousesports getting into their own CT side on the wrong foot to kick things off. Forced by back in with the Deagles.
Just looking to see if they can put some early pressure on, see if they can bounce back quickly. Robs is proper aggressive in the apartments.
Yeah, nade on a core, 10 points of health. Hanged up a little bit here as Hobbit continues bursting his way forward to the AK. Hoping that he can find some more out from the mousesports side. Rops is going to have to force forward. Mac ready, gets the kill. Nice start.
Mouse probably just have to start making a bit of a gamble stack, making a little bit of a risk in this situation. They've gone for an aggressive move, it hasn't paid off, and a core is so low as it is.
A little over a minute to the clock on this one. Gambit set into the mid control. Slow walks from Hobbit. Watching the back, looking to swing around to the right perhaps. Turn away from with the smokes down on the long control. The arch position as well. So they siphoned off all the rotations, and not like it will matter. Mousesports don't have anything on the A side. They gamble stack B.
Yeah, you go for a risk, and it makes the most amount of sense possible. Unfortunately, that risk doesn't quite pay off. They gamble out towards B. At the same time, though, it does allow them to save onto the weapons if there isn't a hunt squad coming in.
You should see that plant. You should see this round going the way of the Gambit camp. I imagine that mousesports might want to hold on to these weapons and this Kevlar just for the sake of the next round, which will be a full eco to have something to work from here for the international squad. And that seems to be exactly the case. They're backed up in the B site and not moving a muscle.
We know that for mousesports, in terms of experience, you've got Acor and Dexter that have played at tier 1 level, or at least a very high level, have played at many international LAN events, have had some very deep runs. As you have a look at this Gambit side, and really it's only Hobbit that can bring that experience forward. Shiro still sitting on only 4 kills. But I guess as well, when you have a look at maybe the kill distribution, it's down in the dumps, but then also looks pretty good for some players.
Very lopsided, I guess is the right phraseology for that. But again, it is one of those things where I said earlier in the game, if it continues down this route, then I would be concerned for Gambit.
Yeah.
And I still feel like if they can find a way to exploit Shiro's weaknesses here on the mousesports side, then that's the perfect opportunity for them to be able to start to swing control back towards their favor. Shiro and Inter's being the main 2 players down. But again, as you mentioned, credit to Axel, Nafani, and Hobbit. They have been screaming all the way through this matchup unable to find the definitive advantage as of right now for Gambit. Still 3 rounds down. And a small tech pause to come here prior to our next.
And what makes a team define themselves as great rather than the good is probably just the way in which, even if there is a player going quiet, you don't need him to step up because you've got others in the team that are going to be able to use that to their advantage, change those individual roles, micromanage in a slightly different way to make sure the outcome is still the same, even though maybe the individual results aren't.
Small PC issue before we can continue with our next round, which will get resolved pretty quickly here, Dwayne, hopefully. Another moment's respite here for mousesports to, again, sort of go over the game plan in their heads. Obviously, we're back on land, so they can't discuss anything. So there's nothing in that respect. But in terms of, the mental game, you can't help but think during these moments. Because mousesports were at the advantage, and they have been tested in a couple of occasions over the course of this matchup. But this is the first time I think the Gambit have definitively looked like they could catch up.
And you've got to wonder what the difference is going to be like in terms of the coaching staff. We know that online, a lot of events just allow the coaches to talk free range, and that you do get some teams out there that almost use their coach as an in-game leader and maybe have a little bit more fragging potential behind them, where now we're starting to move our way back into land, and this is the first one of the year. It almost feels like they're held back a little bit, and the approach has to be slightly differently. Maybe the coach is getting a bit more impact before the game than when the game's actually going.
Absolutely. And you've got to also be very liberal with the, or not liberal, conservative with the tech pauses because, or the tack pauses, I should say, because that's the only situation in which the coach is guaranteed to be able to talk. So, yeah, mousesports not having any of his luxuries again. Gambit just losing one player on their part. It's Shiro having the issue, so hopefully he can get resolved pretty quickly in this one, and Gambit can get right back into the swing of things.
Ooh, you know what I've just noticed as well, Jay? Over on the mainstream, NIP Liquid on Overpass. Liquid actually getting a pretty strong lead going over in that best of 3 on their opposition's map pick.
Ooh, what's the lead right now?
Well, from what I'm seeing, it's 13-8, and looking
wow.
to try and go a little bit further there. So yeah, that whole aspect of Liquid will be very interesting. We know that they've played 20 maps in the last 3 months. They've played in the RMR in North America. They played in the Blast Showdown here in Europe. Played 1 game and then got eliminated straight away. So they are probably one of the teams that we don't know a massive amount. I don't think they've played an official in 39 days or something like that. So they've had a fair bit of time to be ready, and apparently they're so on the A stream.
Apparently indeed. I mean, definitely an encouraging sign to see from that, because match sharpness is definitely a thing, and that could seriously hinder a team, and I thought it would have hindered Liquid coming into Cologne, but...
Oh my goodness, Grim is 30-11. There we go. That's right. That's his first LAN for Liquid, isn't it?
There you go. It's looking grim for NIP.
Haha.
It's not looking grim for Mouse and Gambit at this moment, though. It looks like Shiro's back in serve, and we can get ready to get back into our matchup. And things do look great for Gambit instead. Small round restart to get the economies in line, so... the right money line for all the respective sides. Still 2 Galils, 2 AKs, and a MAC-10 for Gambit. Mousesports still have those Deagles in play.
One aspect of Gambit that we've probably seen, not a massive amount, but we have seen occurring over the last 6, 9, 12 months or so, is that even when they're on the big back foot, even when they're down by a considerable margin of rounds, you can never count them out of any situation.
Never, ever count out any team on LAN. Never count out any team on Counter-Strike unless it's done, essentially.
Yeah.
Even if you are 15-0, never count them out. 10-7 right now for mousesports. Looking fantastic for the Gambit side in this half. Still yet to score for the CT side. A scout coming in for Rob, so they are going to go a bit more heavy-handed in this buy.
Yeah, Rob's just trying to see if he can do some economical damage, starting things off. Doesn't quite hit the shot, instantly punished.
Straight nade on Hobbit. Kill found. Nice and easy to start things off. Put him in the lead on the frag counts for Gambit. Not much else that mousesports can really do. Again, hoping that these Eagles can land some headshots. And they have placed themselves correctly against Gambit's default. 3 players on the A site. Over on long for 2. 1 player over in the apartments. And short's relatively undefended, but can rotate pretty quickly. Flashbangs in, turned away from 2 players spotted. Shiro gets both of them. Now it's all left to B-Mass here with an Eagle back here in essentially a 1 versus 5. It will be a definitive 1 versus 5 as he goes down. Can't get Hobbit, unfortunately. So 2 kills between him and Shiro, and Frozen, last man left.
Literally the worst timing out there from long. They turn away for the anti-flash, they look black, and they just get so blinded. Easy pickings coming for the T side, and well, this, I don't want to say expensive eco, but an eco where they actually had a fair bit of investment around it just gets away with absolutely nothing.
Destination on the part of Gambit, but those were pistols. Now the rifles can come in for the mousesports side, and this is the most main focus here for the CT side. AWP for a core, M4s across the board. No real diffuse kits though for the CT side, as I can see. So, mousesports might be limited on the retake department, but if they can hold the defensive against Gambit, that might be okay. That might be very possible as well. They're playing a bonus round.
Well, they only won 2 rifle rounds in that first half, one of which we saw a 3K coming out for Axel, and then the other one, a 4K coming out from Axel. So there's got to be a bit of a difference in at least some of the results here for Gambit. Early nades out towards the top of Banana, but at least for mousesports, they're trying to at least counter back.
Maybe we complete the trifecta, get an ace for Axel.
Well.
Yet to see that one. It might be an ace for Nafani. I mean, there's 4 players that out-head Kevlar, so the MAC-10 has got plenty of potential. 3 players again set towards the defense on the ace site for mousesports. 4th man's going to go ahead and join them. Much more spread out this time.
Just a pop-out flash. MAC-10 going down. Rob's going to get to see the contact already too late.
BMAS with the head Kevlar going to reveal his position. He drops off the boost spot. AK could round the corner, and Nafani is tagged. Nades inbound. Of course, going to get tagged up instead. 12 points of HP for him. Still needs that T-side backup to make their way in from the brackets. Frozen's trying to try and cut them off. BMAS swings back, gets the kill on Shiro, so drops him back to a 4 versus 4. AWP still fires, and there's nothing else seen for the T-side line. Do they think this MAC-10 is just a lurker?
But they're going to just try and drive Acor out of the site itself, just try and get him even lower than where he is. And they're just desperate for a pick. They're really slowing this down.
Half committed to this. Axel ready for a swing back. Hobby gets his kill. Axel dealt with 3 versus 3. And now the A site is kind of theirs, but BMAS is still looking to scream. Get 3 kills in this one. Bomb trying to get towards the site. M4 sees them on the cross, can catch off information on Inters. I don't know if they saw him or the same. Nafani goes falling next as BMAS gets his quadra. It's all Inters now. Galil in hand, weakened weapon, but still isolating these picks, but not making it work. BMAS gets the ace, burns to Inters Molotov as well. And a really well-played short hold from him. He became the difference maker, and in the best possible way for mousesports to start themselves off on CT side.
BMAS, mate, anytime there's utility coming forward, do not fist pump. It's not allowed. You've got to be making sure that all the round is over and done with. But what a huge hold that really is coming through for him. And the Lithuanian gets away with an ace. So many impact kills coming towards him. And for mousesports, you could just see at the end of that round how much that means to them.
Seeing each individual kill for BMAS. Again, such great short holding from him. Fantastic frags on his part. Shame he couldn't stay alive, but you know. Why did we slow that down on the replay? 11-8, mousesports again. They start off in this half, and they're right back in with the guns. But as I mentioned before, Gambit, that was a bonus. They're on full AKs.
Get those rifles through, try and put pressure back on. But even for mousesports, it's a little bit more of an aggressive bait and switch out towards the long side of brackets. Frozen just getting flashed in, misses his timing.
Bit awkward on the crosshair adjustment as well. Unfortunately not punished here by the Gambit camp. Rops similar sort of scenario, and same thing for a core, but a core is at least tagged to 34. So, start on HP advantage. No kills yet for the T side.
It really hasn't been an AWP heavy map at all. Mainly been just the M4s and the AK that was in a considerable margin of time. BMAS just not even getting challenged, only has to face 1 kill.
Hobbit really should have been backing up the Fani there to at least try and trade back on something. One player solo walking out into brackets and just getting picked off with his back turned towards that quad position. And again, BMAS starts off this round for mousesports. Early advantage for them instead, and the util straight out towards the B-site execution. 2 CTs on site. Axel catches Frozen while he's completely blinded off. And Dexter now with the M4 behind the pillar. He's been amazing on this B-site entry, but to the defensive, it's the complete opposite story.
This has got to be a save, really, for the CTs. They don't have the money in the reserve to go for. Look for some exit kills, but you've got to hold on to the weapons.
Yeah, man advantage, and you can already see BMAS is not even bothering with the rotation. Eventually, a core on Rops will go ahead and join him. Or at least Rops will stick around a little bit later into the round. Maybe look for excess, as you mentioned, but definitely not around for mousesports. And a wonderful return there from Gambit.
Just some good entries out to the B site really helped there. We saw the way in which only that dink comes down onto Axel. Not holding off for long enough for Dexter. And that was a round in which they had an opening man advantage. A very, very good recovery in the 4v5.
Back up to 9 for Gambit, starting to channel their inner confidence. Mousesports, now they're starting to look a bit more awkward in this matchup. We talk a little bit about, again, how this map pick is the pick of the Mousesports side, but the results for Gambit have been just as solid in the last few months. Again, they've got victories above Na'Vi, above Heroic, of G2, all sorts of great victories in for them on this map up, so As you mentioned, good strength picks involved for both sides, but I mean, Gambit could still steal it here.
Yeah, and that would not look good on the outset at all for mousesports. They've got to try and maintain this lead, make sure that they're still putting themselves in a decent position of closing out. Gambit, though, it's all about following these rounds, because that's something they've struggled with over the course of this entire map. It's just consistency with streaks.
Hobbit very aggressive here in the bedroom, looking the wrong way as Rops aggressed with the AWP of a core into the apartments, and Hobbit, no idea what to expect in that one. Great opening frag again for mousesports.
They did that again in the last round, Gambit being forced back in the 4v5. So you've got to give a lot of credit over to this international squad for getting so many opening man advantages.
Yeah, slow walk in here from the Gambit side. They're going to start making their way into the apartments definitively. Farney with the AK. Looking back into Ali's back, 60 seconds, and there's 3 CTs to hold it here. Core and Rops in particular. The first entry's flagged out. Nafani caught, Rops lines up 2, bombs dropped. That's round.
Axel and Shiro just hoping for an absolute miracle, but really, you're right about it. This is round. Axel's trying to make a little bit of a play out for the apartments itself. Rops is just going to be able to isolate a couple of pigs, make it another ace. What is going on with these aces?
That was lovely. That was very lovely from Rops. Gambit trying to recover that round, but as I mentioned before, there's easy lineup for him. Secured it right there. The ace is just a bonus. Seriously well done from him. Both him and BMAS now an ace apiece.
And this is Rops' 2 aces in 2 days. You can't ask for a better performance than that.
Solid stuff. Still solid at the moment here for mousesports, but still only 2 rounds, I should say, on the CT side. 12-9. Gambit still trying to catch up, and they have another buy involved in this round. A lot of investment coming in for the T side. They lose this one. This could start being mousesports in the advantage in this matchup. Could finally start to grind back to that 14th or 15th round. Gambit hold on to it though, then we're still on to standard evens here. Aggression from Dexter, down Banana.
A lot of anti-rush nades to start off by the City side. Don't really pick in too much damage at all. Just a little bit of a aggressive play from Dexter, just working in and around the smoke, making sure no T-side player was able to sneak through.
Providing covering fire to allow Dexter to sneak up. Slow walking, now he's going to hold this very aggressive. He's still got the jump face coming in from his teammates, so it's all about bait and switch, trying to look for information, prepare Dexter, as well as that try and indicate to Gambit that they haven't pushed up to Banana at all. Axel, slow walking, he's going to check the corner anyway, but Dexter gets his kill involved. Only the one frag though, smoke down, trying to get him out of dodge. The Molotov might force him away, he starts burning and goes very far forward towards this nade involved. Swing back out, when's it going to come forward? Hearing those footsteps finally into, sprays blind and gets the trade.
He's just trying to get to safety, but he can't really get anywhere, but just hide in that smoke, hope that he doesn't get spammed down. Great return kill coming through for Gambit. Now they slow it down, and now for mousesports, they don't have an info play. They're going to rotate their AWP back out towards the B side, but the majority of players are in the apartments here for the Ts.
30 seconds remaining. Rops watching BMAS. They're set and ready with the rifles on the crossfire from Pit and Mini. Drop down, here comes the first. Stefani with a spray back. Rops trying to hold on to the fence again. He's got his kill. Needs a second though against Stefani and a player bearing down upon him here from the balcony. 2 points of health. Still gets away with a kill and into somehow, some way. With a bomb across to the site, it'll be a 2v2 retake.
A beautiful hold from Rops just to be able to get away with as much as he can. Oh, Nafany though, getting all the way up towards Graveyard.
Off-angle position here for Gambit. Shiro's going to watch out from short. No one's covering long. Someone's got to look back there. I think it's got to be Shiro, the best player for the job. I'm going to wait for Frozen to rotate into the short position. Molotov at the ready. Hearing footsteps. Incendiary comes down, reveals his angle as a core looks into the site. AK sees the head, straight through. Doesn't connect a shot, but doesn't allow the CT to get a trade in. He does trade back, but Nafani swings on both individuals, gets a 3K, and again secures another round for Gambit.
That was a close one. Really down to the wire there for Gambit, just being able to waste time on that post plan, allow the in-game leader out from the Graveyard position just to be able to flick back over from short over to Moto. And Mao's going to be forcing it up. Loss bonus, not fantastic. Buy even, not fantastic either. They've only got away with a couple of M4s.
Perfect chance for Gambit to reset and to get us to 12 all. Been hunting for this even standing ever since they lost the lead at 3-2. Rifles inbound, the nades up. Tags up against Frozen's part in minimal amounts, the flashbangs in. Frozen and Dexter spraying manically down towards that banana position, but so far so little's given up here by Gambit.
And this is probably where we see the CIS squad really start coming into their own, where they start dictating pace of the round, start slowing it down, forcing mousesports back and back and back, really passive on this CT side. And Frozen just trying to get up close and personal.
Flash over, Shiro opens up on the SMG. Frozen caught first and foremost. Dexter now going to get backed up by a core. The two weak weapons to defend this B site in Gambit. They could very easily exploit this, but they're not going to go over there. They're going to rotate the default back to the A site. But the third man goes ahead and joins the B play, so it's all going to rest on BMAS.
Do they just peek in dry? How dry do they go in? Well, Bemis at least finds the trade back and at least holds on to his life too.
No rotations from his teammates though. Smokes down towards the library position. Was going to get flashed off a little bit, and Gambit start working their way in. Nades up. Players making their way down to the backstab. Can Dexter find anything? You can see Shiro. He's seen the bomb as well. Rops is also on his way in towards the library entrance, but slowly and surely Dexter's going to creep his way forward. He could catch so much out of this here. Sees nothing on long, looks around towards the AWP, sees Shiro, drops the bomb. Meanwhile, Rops has got a kill on Axel, so 3 versus 2. Drop in for Hobbit, looks back, Dexter and BMAS still hold control. It's all left to Inters. 8 HP in a dream, and it's not going to happen. mousesports with an all-important round for them.
The youngest player in this server of BMAS looks to be one of the most impressive players we've got here in this opening map of Inferno. Another great multi-kill round from him, but what an info play. The way in which Dexter starts aggressing down Banana, make sure they're walking just at the distance where they can't be heard, and as soon as that bomb gets dropped, everything changes in the round.
And a second tactical timeout called in by Gambit here. So well worked in by BMAS. Again, a great hold on the short and pit positions. Really being a major entity for mousesports. Top fragging alongside Dexter, and those two guys have been clinical to mousesports' success.
Well, they need to be, because there are players dropping off, right? A-Core with the AWP hasn't been able to find a massive amount of impact. Frozen 6 kills and 17 deaths. It means that there's other counterparts that need to deliver, and Rops and BMAS, even Dexter getting involved. Those three have been so damn consistent.
And forced buy-in for Gambit in this one. Hero AK with Deagles and Tech9. And straight up aggression here from Rops. Drops that AK, immediately deals with Afadi. Hobbit can find as responsive. It's a big loss to take here. Gambit cannot afford many in this one. They do get a trade at least, but it's a 4v4.
Even though it's only that 1-for-1 trade, look at where the aggression now leans towards map control. That early push out from Boiler gets the information and then allows Frozen to completely take Banana, get that deep smoke down, jump spot out towards the top of Broken Wall. That allows Dexter to then play in towards CT towards Arch.
And meanwhile, Gambit have gained the AK and the M4 back, so a couple of rifles for Shiro and Axel to work with. Shiro still on single digits alongside Inters here for the Gambit side, so still not being able to post the main numbers. 60 seconds remaining to the clock. Gambit do lean their way into the mid control. Axel, bomb on his back. Will get boosted up as well to take first contact. They drop that bomb again. That could be everything for mousesports.
How do they slow this round down in terms of counter utility? 45 seconds left on the clock. Other than that sound cue down for the boost, that's all that's been given up.
Well, Axel looks around the corner, keeps his eyes set towards that long control from Arsene, but Dexter. Very tight angle to hold here at the fountain, but it could be enough. Smoke instead, going to suppress. Hearing the footsteps, 3 players going right past him. Dexter, sneaky beaky, like right into Inters at point blank. The Deagle lands a shot. BMAS still on site though, gets the kill, only one. And a core struggling to deal with them. Deagle out to slant to a 2 versus 2. 15 seconds, Naves back to his position, tagging him to 12 points of health. Inters will go for the bomb plant. It is covered off from the pit control, so now a core needs Frozen because the incendiary will drive him out or drive him to death. Either way, Gambit have the advantage.
It doesn't quite spread. It allows Frozen to get into a decent position. Nade's down on towards the site. Hasn't been able to deal with Shiro just yet.
He's not moving. He knows he cannot afford to move from this position. He's got to rest on Inters to get the kill on a core. It's now to Frozen. 1v2 clutch C. Shiro gets it back to evens and he's got the weapon advantage, but not the frag. Inters holds the line, holds the 3K, and holds the 11th for Gambit.
Oh, what a big clutch to come through for Gambit in such a necessary round. So much util going down to the site, but not going up towards Shiro. The 1v1 being landed, and that just wrecks the economy completely for Mouse. That was a force buy in the last round for Gambit, and they've converted just when they need.
Yeah, we're seeing force for force at this stage now. mousesports another heavy buy-in with an M4 and an SMG. 3 Deagles out. I think they need to steal it at this stage. Gambit so close to finishing everything at this moment and finally completing that comeback, finally completing the even scoreline that, again, they've hunted for all game long so far.
It's just getting that feeling that one big round for Gambit could just be the map winner. The way in which it really just tips toes in their favor, it wrecks the economy for Mouse, but when is that round coming?
Is that round coming? Can it come down in time? There's a lot of questions to ask here for Gambit. Minute and 10. This could be the one. Deagle and SMG set to defensive. Another Deagle of a course trying to get back here. Decent damage done by Frozen. Actually 5 HP for Inters. I want to say very good damage. Trying to block that smoke, but can't get a gap in it.
Now, Gambit is still slowing the clock, though. They've got a fair bit of util to work with. Nade out towards CT. That's going to do some further chip damage onto Frozen. The lurkout for Hobbit has not seen anything aggressive in the apartments from second mid.
45 seconds. Aggression again from Rops here in the apartments alongside BMAS on that boost spot. Play this position wonderfully on the short defensive. Hobbit catches the kill, so now it's all on BMAS. Backup is going to be very slow to get here. Sees one of Axel. Spray Manic does drop the bomb. Look for Inters next up. It's very, very awkward for him, but he baits in the kill to allow Shiro to get it to a 4 versus 3, and mousesports now locked out of the A site. Do they even go for this here, Dwayne?
It's got to be a save. There's no way they can go for this. The bomb's just about to get planted on A, and they're so out of position. Hold on to what you've got, bring it into the next round. And for Bemis, he's been playing up to that Keo boost position a couple of rounds now, and it seemed like that was one of the first times in which he kind of got baited early, and it allowed the trade to come back without offering up a multi-kill to him.
12 for Gambit, within 1 of mousesports. Single round left for them to complete this, and again to put the pressure on the CT side. mousesports still sat on the very first step of victory row, but they just can't seem to get anything done here. mousesports on the force buys, on the rifles. Gambit are finding ways to outplay them, outfrag them. Everything involved at this moment, as it gets to squeaky bum time at this stage.
And what is so odd in this opening map in the best of 3 is that when Gambit had that 2-0 start, every round after that in the first half was individual. They only managed 3. Now we go into the second half, the CT side for mousesports on their map pick, and all they've had is individual rounds. 3 again. We have not seen the conversions coming through for both really teams when it comes to their CT side.
Very liberal with the tactical pauses here on the mousesports side. Their second of this matchup being called. What conversations are going on in the mousesports side? What are they saying to each other?
But you've just got to imagine, just focus up. Just don't drop the ball at all. Yeah, Gambit are coming back. Yeah, we haven't had the most successful CT side in the world, but they've still got the lead, right?
For now. Will that last? Gambit finally found what they need. Are they going to find the equalizer here on round 26? Well, looks likely. The Eagles, SMG, those are the best weapons they have for mousesports. Gambit, it's full guns out. Yes, a Galil. Yes, an M4, but not really much else that mousesports can contest against that. The T's, on paper, this should be 13.
Now, gotta remember, we saw that big eco win coming through from Gambit on the gamble stack out to the B side with Nafany's 5-7. So it's always something to consider that sometimes even the rounds that look the least likely to convert can sometimes do so.
Rosen's the Eagle on the cross. Trying to land that shot, trying to replicate that clutch, but 2 bullets, both of them missed. Now it leaves it all on Rops with a USP in the backlines, and you can see how very little faith mousesports have in this round. They are sticking on A. They are not rotating.
You might as well hold on to the upgrades. You've got Akor and Dexter that have got at least the armor behind them, that 1 incendiary, and some upgraded weapons. So just have the gamble stack on A, allow Rops to just do his own thing alone on B towards the back of new box. But even if he gets away with 1, I guess that could be impressive.
Smokes on towards Coffins. Suppression involved. Molotovs actually missed out towards the dark position, but Rops are going to get ahead towards the second boxes instead. See that landing on the roof there? That means that position is not cleared out. But a USP, gets a dink off on Inters, gets the kill involved. That's as far as it goes. Very quick trading there from Nafany. I would have been impressed if Rops had found anything more than a kill in that one.
Yeah, you can't expect a lot to be riding on him. Gambit, even with that lurk out from the apartments, just waiting for the overextensions, waiting for the hungry CTs to look for exits, get themselves up to 13-13. And realistically, you have to give the advantage to Gambit in this scenario. They have been the stronger team in the second half, and mousesports, it comes down to consistency. It comes down to those individual rounds.
At long last, this arduous and difficult road for Gambit to equalize mousesports' lead has come to an end. And the next road begins, taking the lead and the map away from the CT side. It starts with a very, very contentious buy here. The CTs will have no AWPs for Master on Frozen. Dexter's SMG staying in could potentially upgrade. A chance to also drop a rifle to Frozen, so that way he wasn't on the downgrade. He could have played a bit of a bonus round, but he's going to hold on to his 3.5 grand. Get a kit, actually, so just a little over 3 grand. mousesports have a lot riding on this, but it's not their best setup and show.
Well, we know back in the head-to-head up against Gambit in Katowice, Inferno was played in one of the best-of-3 series.
Yep.
Only 4 rounds on CT side, gained by the mousesports side, so maybe they can try and replicate again. Early damage out towards that top of banana position. Frozen's looking for more.
Might look for the AK as well. Nades into the edge of the smoke. Manic spray from Rox and Frozen. Both players going down, 2 for 1 on the trades. Yes, they start on Axel. Into his tag to Dexter, could get a turnaround, but no contact established past the broken wall. He falls back, as does BMAS, as does Sakor.
But you wonder how that's possible for mousesports to get the opening man advantage, and then Gambit just brute force the trades back, allow themselves to get the 4-on-3, and just slow the whole round down, create so much silence on the map.
That's what Gambit are known for. Number 1 in the world for a reason. Slow, careful, and quiet on this A setup. Gambit putting the smokes and flashes down now. Is this going to be a quick exit? I think a smoke actually missed out there towards the long position. Bit of a gap in it, but BMAS still kills off one towards short. Excuse me, there is no gap in that smoke. Mafani, right in the midst of BMAS' crosshair, looks away at the wrong moment, still flicks back to get his secondary kill. Needs a bit more, a call there to bail him out, and 2 players hold the line. mousesports hold the confidence, deny the lead for Gambit.
That's a very impressive crossfire for mousesports, just trying to work between the 2 angles of a core and BMAS down in that mini-pit position, and they just get away with so much damage. Gambit really struggle to just get entry frags onto the site, even with the advantage in that 4v3. Oh. Beautiful sequence from a core, and you have to say, maybe one of the biggest rounds we've seen from him yet in this map.
A very big round for him to take at this moment. 14-13. mousesports again so close to the map point itself on their map pick, but still Gambit within touching distance of taking that lead away. Another economical swing round here for both sides. mousesports heavy investing into this round, getting the opening kill on Hobbit at least. And Gambit doing a similar thing as well. All AKs brought down to Galil for Inters. Hundreds of dollars, maximum of 2 grand for Nafani. And this one could decide it for mousesports.
Just the way in which they aggress in the apartments, deal with that first player of Hobbit, and then just follow up with the nades. Gambit, they're desperate for any kind of advantage back now.
Smokes down, suppression into the apartment. Stefani's going to get pushed away. Gambit start walking into Banana. 3 players up there with a 3-man setup for mousesports. Aggressive from Frozen. A core backed up with the AWP. Dexter the Flash's teammate in. He's seen 1 player, but just vision. No kills yet. Axel gives it up. Frozen trying to go away from a counter flash back in. Nade's involved towards the sandbags angle. He escapes. 5-on-3 advantage for mousesports.
Oh, this looks so good for mousesports. Just getting picks everywhere on the map. And now in a position for Gambit where do they go with the fake? Go back towards the A site knowing they've got the alert for Nafani.
AK looking onto the site itself and looking back towards that long entrance. Cannot see anything of the CT side. 1 player graveyard, 1 player site. A 3rd man on the rotations. And this is the best play that Gambit can muster up here. Best site picked. Molotov's down. All sorts of utility thrown out. 15 seconds. Got to get the bomb down now. Shiro caught off, damaged up, very low. Rops gets the swing back in. Inders gets way back on his teammate, and Nafani gets a kill back. One player in the open, that's Dexter. And the bomb can be secured in this. Nafani saw him jumping, and it brings it back to a 2 versus 2.
Oh, they might recover it again. 3v5 situation. Akel with the AWP looking out for Mini Pit. The angle's not seen as of yet.
Nafani better not poke his head up because that's the perfect chance for the AWP to get the kill. He's watching and waiting patiently, carefully, hoping for the 1 pixel he needs, but Inters trades it back, Galil in hand, on for the 3k clutcher. Core gets caught, but he wins the fight. 9 points of HP, grabbing the kit and getting mousesports to map points.
God, Akor has really stepped up in these last few rounds. He has been so fundamental to the A side, this time on a retake, this time in a clutch situation. That gets him up to 15. And just look at the money. It's not really that great at all to come through for Gambit. There are going to be limitations.
Massive, massive moment for mousesports. The patience of Akor. And just the adjustment with the AK against Inters. That easily could have gone the way of him. But it goes the way of mousesports, and that sets them up with 2 map points to take the start in this series. An arduous effort, but one that could come up for the international squad. Incendiary set to a very fast play in from Gambit, wasting no time. And Axel mows down 1. Frozen gets 2. Nafani trades him, so 3v3 with a B site game by Gambit.
That's very quick in for the T side, but look at the rotates coming in from CT. It's even quicker.
Swapping out to the rifles and a part of Inters. No idea that Rops is so close, as is BMAS. Inters could be the round winner if he can get both of these kills. Meanwhile, Akor starts leaning in. Players aggressive in construction, so he's going to have to take a point-blank shot against the likes of the players. Boost up from Rob, sees Inters. Incendiary down. Backed up nades. Close tag. Dup Shiro gets the kill on Akor. 3v2. Gambit running the timer low. mousesports are going to have to act real quick towards this. Rops, first and foremost, looking to the backline. Shiro flashed in. Great kill. Now BMAS has got to back off. There's no chance he clutches this. No time, no space. 14 for the T's.
What a change of pace. Who would have seen that coming in this kind of a round, that rather than the slow, the passive, the really methodical defaults, it is just a full rush, full aggression up towards the top of Banana. Even when Frozen being able to get a couple of kills, it was the trades back, and Shiro aggressing out from construction was pretty much the round winner. That kill onto Akor.
Doubling up to make sure that it absolutely goes the way of Gambit. And you talk about their own money being decimated in the last round. Well, look at this for mousesports. AK being the only staple rifle. They have got Dexter on a FAMAS, but 2 Deagles, 157. Is this overtime, Blake?
That could be. Just like NIP and Liquid into OT again. Gambit trying to see if they can force their way forward. Get it over the line. mousesports, though, you've got to imagine they need an early advantage with a buy like this.
4 players into the brackets control. Fast again from Gambit. Wildfire from BMAS, the Eagle of Rops. Forced out of the way by flashbangs, Molotovs in towards the pit position. Nades and flashes in there as well. BMAS step with a smoke. Deagle up close. Takes a fight alongside Akor, winning well against Nafani. Hold the phone. AK in hand now for Rob. Swings back. Can't get Shiro, so there is a response involved, but he's so low. And the FAMAS and the AK look back. Dexter and BMAS. 2 more kills. Gambit at the very last hurdle may still fall to mousesports. And indeed they do. There is no OT. Mouse take map 1.
Oh, what a stressful map. What a way to start it off and close out